Hello YouTube wrestling community, it is December 4th, 2009 and it's time for a Friday night SmackDown review. Undertaker calls out Batista, Drew McIntyre picks up a huge win, and if you haven't heard by now, sad news, Eddie Fatu, also known as Umaga, has passed away. We'll get to all that stuff. Let's start the show. Alright, what is up everyone? I want to start by saying thank you to all my subscribers and people who've commented the videos and rated the videos. Continue to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the bar at the side or down there, wherever it is. And we'll get to the Umaga stuff at the end of the show. Really sad news. We'll get to more of that at the end. So let's start off with the review. SmackDown. I really enjoyed the SmackDown. It was we had some pretty good matches, and I enjoyed the show. It's funny because Raw is an entertaining show, but I enjoy watching SmackDown more. Just, I don't know, there's something about SmackDown that I enjoy more, and I think we saw a lot of that X factor, that it factor that SmackDown has over Raw tonight, and that's wrestling. Who would have thought a wrestling show having wrestling? So the show starts off R-Truth versus CM Punk. R-Truth wins via disqualification after Luke Gallows interferes when R-Truth was apparently about to pick up the victory. I enjoy this matchup. It was a nice length matchup. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3 out of 5, which is pretty good. Okay, Kane versus Mike Knox. We saw once again, the vicious Kane coming back, and the crowd is behind Kane more now than they have been in a really long time. But the match, it was pretty quick, so I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. But nonetheless, surprised to see that Kane is really getting back to how he used to be way back when, you know. Alright, next we have Mickie James versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya in a triple threat matchup with Michelle McCool and Layla at ringside. I enjoyed this matchup. I enjoyed a Divas matchup. What a surprise. It was a really good matchup. One of the better Diva matches I've seen in a really long time. One of the great things that I enjoyed about this matchup was Beth Phoenix and Natalya. Ever since these two have came into WWE, I really thought of these two as the strongest as in power divas in the business, and we got to see that they went back and forth, and that was really interesting. And Mickie James wins the matchup, and there was no botches. It was just 3 really good diva wrestlers in a matchup, and doing their thing. I really enjoyed it, and Mickie James picks up the win at the end. Mickie James does a great, the crowd was actually behind this matchup, which is another thing. The crowd was behind the matchup, and the crowd was behind the promo and the whole drama at the end of the matchup, where Mickie James was like, okay, despite all the things you said, I realize you're all about talk, and I don't really care. I'm about to shut you up, and I'm gonna she actually said she's gonna like dislodge Layla from Mickie James's from Michelle McCool's ass. She didn't say ass, she said butt. But same thing. I enjoyed this a lot. Mickie James pushed Michelle McCool down in her chair, and basically they were attacking Michelle McCool, and Layla began attacking Mickie James. Here comes Maria out for the win. Maria can't really out for the save. Maria can't really wrestle, but she tried her best, and the crowd did pop a little bit. So I really enjoyed this. I'm surprised that I even enjoyed it as much as I did. So kudos to the Diva. The match, I'm going to give it 2.5 out of 5, which is saying a lot for Divas. So good job to the 3 Divas from the match. Alright, Vicky Guerrero comes out, and we see a face turn by Eric Escobar. But Vicky Guerrero comes out and says Eric Escobar needs to come out and apologize. And even if he apologizes, they won't be waking up in bed together, which is, ugh, just thinking about that. But he might still have a job. So Eric Escobar comes out, and he says he apologizes for having ever met Vicky Guerrero. And so the crowd's getting behind Eric Escobar, and I think Eric Escobar is going to do a lot better if they decide to go with it as a face. I think he came off as actually likable as a face, so I think they should definitely go out with that. Vicky Guerrero, very mad obviously that he didn't really apologize, so she says she can fire him, but instead she's going to put him in a match against the Hart Dynasty. And Hart Dynasty, as I've always said, they lack charisma. They need, I don't know, do they speak French? I don't know, because if they speak French, then I can understand that. But if they speak English, they really need to get some kind of mic going to get some kind of personality, because God, they are god awful boring. But Eric Escobar gets some offense, but I can't help but think that Eric Escobar is just sloppy in the ring. He's not as good as he should be for all the years apparently that he's been in the FCW. But regardless, Hart Dynasty win. Eric Escobar loses, and after the match, Vicky Guerrero slaps Eric Escobar in the face. But I think Eric Escobar is gonna be face now. Okay, cool. So it looks like they're not giving up on him. Backstage, Teddy Long announces that next week Batista and Rey Mysterio will be fighting for in a street fight. Rey Mysterio requested it. Batista and Rey Mysterio street fight next week on SmackDown. And so the news is that Rey Mysterio is actually going to hold off on his surgery. The rumor that he's going to hold off on his surgery until after WrestleMania, because he's missed a couple of WrestleManias because of his injuries. The next match of the night, Drew McIntyre versus John Morrison. It was actually a really good match. I enjoyed it a lot. Drew McIntyre and John Morrison came out. Drew McIntyre starts talking trash. John Morrison turns him around. Another slap for the night. And they put on a really good match. I'm going to give this match, by the way, the Eric Escobar Hart Dynasty match, I'm going to give that a 2.5 out of 5. This match I enjoyed a lot, so I'm going to give a 3.5 out of 5. Is that too high? I don't think it's too high. I think these two put on a good match, and Drew McIntyre pulls off the win, which will probably put him in contention for the title. Alright, Big Show and Chris Jericho face Crime Time, and Big Show and Jericho win, as if we... Shad Gaspard came in the ring, and Big Show knocked him out with a punch. 1, 2, 3 out. Not really a shocker, so let's move along. So Undertaker was coming out to call out Batista, and before Undertaker could get to the ring, Batista came and viciously attacked Undertaker with a chair, for their chairs match. Is doing, building up for the chairs match, and basically Undertaker got laid out by Batista, and that's how the night ended basically for SmackDown. All in all, like I said, it was a really decent night wrestling wise. It was better than the sum of its parts. Alright, now on to the Umaga stuff. It's really sad news. Umaga, Eddie Fatu, aka Umaga, passed away earlier today, and that's really sad, really shocking, and it sucks that this happened. Like, anytime a superstar dies, whether they're under contract or not, it's terrible. And you gotta think that WWE, as much as they're sad to see this happen, really thinking that they dodged another bullet, because really having another wrestler die under their watch wouldn't have been good for them. Vince McMahon took a real beating when it was Chris Benoit who died, and Umaga was only 36, so that really sucks, and just goes to show that wrestlers are dying at young ages. And I think they need to look into having maybe a 2-week off season or a mandatory 2-week break every year at the very least, because these superstars go through a lot of stuff and they need their break. Alright, WWE issued a statement. Their statement: WWE would like to express its deepest condolences to Mr. Fatu's family, friends, and fans on his tragic passing. Mr. Fatu is under contract with WWE at various time periods, and most recently performed under the name Umaga. Mr. Fatu's contract was terminated on June 11, 2009. Howard Finkel: I am saddened by the passing today of Eddie Fatu, aka Umaga. My sincere condolences to his family and friends. Paul Heyman: the world is minus. He says the world is minus one very cool Samoan tonight. We offer our most profound condolences to the Fatu family. And apparently the details behind his passing, speculative at this point, but a lot of people, the report is that he fell asleep watching TV, and basically his wife came and saw blood coming out of his nose, and basically rushed him to the hospital, where he was put on life support. And then basically they ended up taking him off life support when they found out that there was no chance of him living, and he actually reportedly rumored to have had another heart attack after that. So that really sucks. It's sad to see that. It's terrible. 36 years old. So that sucks. So obviously, if they're Umaga fans or his family and friends, obviously we're all thinking about them. Thanks for watching the show again. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on Monday night for the Monday Night Raw review. Thanks. Peace out.